it's funny the things that you like, you know. I love these things. This old case tractor right here, I think it's awesome. The neat thing about an old tractor like this is this tractor here, it's at the age where it was made in the mid-60s, but anything you need to run a implement or attachment, it's got live PTO, it's got 2 sets of remotes, it's got real 3-point hitch, because this was post-Case-O-Matic. This was after, I believe it was Ferguson had the 3-point hitch patent, and they held on to it, and all the tractor makers, International had quick hitch, and Case had eagle hitch. They all had to be a little different. They couldn't copy what is now the industry standard 3-point hitch, because Ferguson held a copy, the patent on it. Yes. So anyway, but this tractor, I love it. It's a Comfort King. It's an 830. I believe it's a 65. I don't know for sure, but she got a little issue going on right now. It's a Case-O-Matic too, which is kind of neat because you can flip the lever and it puts you in a torque converter drive. And the oil is really nice and clean in that. The oil in the sump for the hydraulics in the transmission is just terrible shape. It's just got water in it. Usually that happens because these boots down here wind up, I don't know if I can get in on it, but these shifter boots will get a leak and the water will just, you know, rainwater just follow that bar, that shifter, just fall right down into the transmission. So it's nice to have a tractor shed if you can. You can keep these things in the shed so they don't get all water in the oil and all that. Keeps the paint up better and stuff. Tricycle front end, which is another thing I love about it. Most people like the wide front end. They feel safer and all that, but you're not a whole lot safer on a wide front end, to be honest, because by the time they go to the locks, you're already rolling over. So you got to use your head on either tractor and not do dangerous things. Back tires are pretty bad shape. I'm going to have to dig up some other ones. You can probably see there's a big hole, not a hole, but a big check mark there in that one. Yeah, this tractor is just way cool. I should have taken a picture of it before we had the head taken off and the grills out and stuff. But as is usually the case around here, little pun, we wound up with a problem. And that problem was I noticed that there was a little bit of oil in the top of the radiator. Take the cap off, and there was a little bit of oil floating on the antifreeze. You can see it's kind of schmegged up, oily, messy. So that was the first giveaway, and then the next thing was when it was running with the cap off, you could see it just bubbling, bubbles of combustion cylinder pressure getting into the cooling system, which means somewhere these pistons, when they making their pressure, it's getting into the cooling system. I don't believe there's any water in the crankcase. That's something we're going to check. We're going to drain it. You know, drop the plug and see if water comes out the bottom. It's been sitting for a few days, so that should happen. This looks to me like a sulfur bloom on top of those pistons. Maybe not. So anyway, I've also got a problem with cracks. And you probably can see that right there between that bolt hole. You can see the cracks are leading towards the cylinder liners. I don't know if that's a problem or not. It may not be. I have a friend who's telling me it's not, and this guy knows Case tractors inside and out. In this cylinder, or in this bolt here, between 3 and 4, there's a crack only going to the 3. I don't see a crack going to the other. Either way, that's not something that's comforting. You got a crack in the block, but I don't know as it would affect it, because I don't think that web will pull apart. I don't know. So that's something I got to find out. Find out if that just is a game changer as far as the block goes, if it's a deal breaker, I guess I'd call it. Then over here we have the heads, which I haven't been able to see any cracks in them yet, but we haven't done much of an inspection. I just gave it a quick look. It looks like this one cylinder head is kind of pockmarked, like maybe at one time it got, I don't know, water in there, some corrosion. This looks like it's pretty clean. And then on this head, too bad all the bad stuff wasn't on one head, but this head had some of the similar stuff. Not as bad as the other head, but I can't see any real cracks in it. I'm not exactly sure where to look. I think between the valves is probably the places. So we're going to look at that today too, real quick before I got to go to work with Eddie. The head gaskets, I don't think I could see that crack. That crack is kind of mirrored right here. It's the same crack that's on the deck. And this one too. It looks like they might have got hot and started firing between a little bit. But I don't think that bad. I don't think it's not as obvious as I've seen in the past, where you can tell exactly where the head gasket got burnt and flowed through. So anyway, I'm going to get a can of something and spray this down and see if I can tell where the leak is, if there's leaks in the heads.